Okay, so an update for you guys. Just off to the Made by Morris shed. Right, so what's been happening? We have got a lower body session to view today, which I'm currently in the process of uploading. But to attach to it, I thought I would update you on what's going on with regards to my current training and my macros. So, right, where do we begin? We begin, of course, with the spreadsheet. So, scroll down. Currently, so this week, I'd say it's been an okay week. I've been hovering around the same sort of weight, the same sort of 153s, 154s, 151s, and you know, it's been going well. Some days I've felt pretty awful, some days I've felt good. So to avoid this video being too long, let's go into the training. So I'm currently training 5 to 6 days a week, depending on how busy I am, which isn't very busy at the moment. So it's been 6 days, splitting my sessions into a push, a pull, 2 lower body workouts, 1 upper body workout, and 1 sort of weak point session, or should you say a bro session, because it is arms and rear delts. So that's training. All going well, lift still strong, still enjoying my training. Mike Samuels, if you're watching this, he didn't enjoy his training at all, which I found upsetting. So Mike, I'm not sure what was going wrong, but I'm still loving my training. Okay, so no sort of harsh feelings there, Mike. So cardio. I was on the Stairmaster in the mornings. People at Underground can vouch for me on that front. But I hated it. I really started to not like it at all. So I've been watching a lot of Jeff Albert's. I actually had a conversation with him the other day. And I've been watching a lot of his videos anyway, and I decided to change it to a morning walk. Why? Because I live in a fairly nice area, and I wanted to get on my feet and not stand on a Stairmaster. I wanted to enjoy my cardio as much as I could, so I'm doing 40 to 45 minutes in the morning. I try to cover 3 miles. Obviously, if it's post refeed, then that, you know, comes down a little bit, and I try and beat my personal best. It gives me a little bit of a challenge in the morning. My current personal best is 39 minutes and 55 seconds for a 3-mile fast-paced walk. I have challenged my dad to try and beat that. You know, if anyone out there thinks that's ridiculously slow, then, you know, go ahead and try and beat my 3-mile time. So that's cardio. Cardio it works out to about 2,000 calories. But you got to remember that I'm pretty much sedentary most of the day, other than my weight training and my cardio. And if I go out and train a client, then maybe I'll get off my seat in the shed. Macros quickly, to keep this short. I tend to go fairly low fat, so sort of normal days we're looking at between 35 grams of fat. It's pretty much my normal days. And then a high day, in terms of a high carb day, I try to keep fats as minimal. But you know, if you've been following my high carb days on Instagram or anything, you'll know that I do some damage to the carbohydrates. So I aim for a good amount, So I think this week I got up to 1,069. Don't know, no, you probably can't see that. 1,069 grams of carbs on my refeed day. Obviously, my weight bumps up after that. But for me, I find it really works. It gives me about 2 days of feeling really good, feeling good in the gym. Don't really spill over at all either. I think my body really sort of responds quite well to them. Weight gain after that 1,070 carb, if you wanted to know it, I went up about 4 pounds, but that, you know, quickly came back off. And some people were thinking maybe, oh, it's a step in the wrong direction, but it really does help. It really does help, and in my opinion, I think it sort of created a different look to my physique. So those are the high carb days. Lower days, we're looking at about 300 carb. And about 150, 160 protein at the moment. Bear in mind I am about 145 pounds and 3 weeks out from a show, so my low days are still above 2,000 calories, but they are pretty horrible days in terms of just sort of getting through them and coming out the other side. So yeah, that's rounding everything up now for the lower body session. Okay, guys. Okay, so welcome to the lower body session. This is lower hypertrophy, and so I'm currently unracking 130 kilos after my warm-up sets and my mobility. Currently, sort of my body weight's at about 142, 143 pounds. So this is from the side. Notice I've got my Inza belt and my Nike Remedios. It seems to take a little bit of time just to sort of set up before going into my set. 6 reps here. Bomb diving definitely a bit. Not too happy on my descent, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, a decent first set. So yeah, definitely feeling, you know, less comfortable with the squat as it goes on, and I think the majority of the reason why is just my mechanics are changing. As you slowly, you know, drop body fat, your mechanics are going to change for each lift. My deadlift has actually got stronger, whilst my squat has really taken a hit. Now looking back to the start of prep, I was squatting about 140 kilos for 3 sets of 9 on these days. We're obviously down to 130 kilos for 4 sets of 6. So it has taken a hit, but I have improved both form and also the equipment I use. I've gone from using knee wraps to SBD knee sleeves. Knee sleeves are obviously gonna provide less of sort of a torque to the bottom of the squat. Yeah, you can see there my bikini pose. I think a few people will like that. So yeah, I'm sort of focusing more on quality than quantity. It's very hard with me. I'm still a young, sort of almost cocky individual when it comes to my squats. I tend to put too much on the bar, too much load, and then, you know, struggle when it comes to those last few reps, which will become a struggle anyway. And it's important to remember that I do have to put some weight on the bar, but I try to emphasize form over the load. So yes, in my blue drink over there is just 10 grams of BCAAs or Bro CAAs, and then I have a small box of Haribos to go alongside. So those are in effect fueling my workouts. So moving on, unfortunately I laid the camera on the incorrect side for these dumbbell straight leg deadlifts, or Romanian deadlifts. You know, I really like this movement, purely because I'm able to pick up a dumbbell nice and quick, get my wrist wraps around it, and do a quick good set. 4 sets of 8 here, with 42.5 kilo dumbbells. I actually have started programming this lift, or so not so much programming, but you know, really trying to progress on the movement, and you know, really tracking the weight that I am moving. So instead of just picking up a weight and doing 8 to 12, I'm picking up a weight and I'm doing 8. You know, if they feel okay, RPE sort of 7.5, 3 more reps in the tank, then maybe I'll go up next week, and I think I will graduate next week to the 45s. So moving quickly on to the other part of the gym. Good gym, this underground gym in Portslade, Brighton, and we are on the glute ham raise machine. One of my favourite bits of equipment for hamstring and glute development, although I'm still getting used to it. So anyone that has, you know, used this for a while and thinks that I'm doing something not so optimal on this machine, please comment below and tell me what I'm doing wrong. But I've got a black band at the bottom to sort of increase resistance, because my body weight just wasn't sufficing. So, but I really do try and slow down that eccentric portion of the movement, and then squeeze up, utilizing only my hamstrings and glutes. A lot of people dip too low on this movement. They go far too low, and end up, you know, sort of lurching, so to speak, off the bottom of the pads. You've really got to try and sort of control it, and feel for your glutes and your hamstrings whilst doing this one. So I think I ended up doing 5 sets of 10 to 15 here. Now you're probably thinking, whoa, AJ, it's a hell of a lot of sets, mate. You know, chill out on the glute ham raise. Yeah, okay. No, in all seriousness, I was going to hip thrust, but I've had some sort of nagging adductor sort of issue that I really didn't want to aggravate anymore. So I thought no hip thrust today, and I sort of took that equated volume and whacked it on the glute ham raise, which I was happy I did, because I was pretty tired today, sort of third or fourth low day in a row, on a lower body day, which is usually a high day. So I was pretty tired. So the hip thrust requires more setup time, whereas the glute ham raise, all I had to do was, you know, go and get that black band, wrap it around the machine, and I was ready to go. So I definitely like this movement, and if you have one in your gym, if you're lucky enough for your gym to be having this sort of equipment, then I highly recommend using it. So yeah, moving on. Got some visitors here, and you know, the underground gym hashtag there. We're on the leg curl, and we're doing 2 sets of 10 to 15 reps. I believe I was using 50 kilos as the load for these two. They were good. I'm not too sure on this machine. I've never been a fan of it. I've been training underground for quite a long time now, and I've never really got on too well with this one. I'm not sure, maybe I'm just too short and stubby for it, but for me, I just find that my hips shoot up too much. I can't keep those glutes down. can't keep them down. So a seated leg curl or a standing leg curl would be a lovely addition to the gym. But you know, you can't ask for everything. In between sets, I sometimes hop around the corner and do a couple of sets on the leg extension, purely to satisfy my bro feeling. You'll notice that this workout is primarily a hamstring dominant day, and you'd be right in saying that. I tend to split up my leg training a little bit, as they're a strong point for me, so I don't really have to do 2 hamstring and 2 quad days. But obviously I did squats and those leg extensions for quadriceps. Anyway, finishing off with seated calf press. Just 4 sets here of 5 to 10 reps, with a 4 to 5 second isometric hold at the bottom. Really find this, it just works for me. I've always had nice, you know, decent calf development, but adding in that stretch really does give you that the bro pump, and you know, makes them sore the next day. So, you know, rounding up this session with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and more to come soon. Okay, speak soon, guys.